Hi, I'm Tia Carrere, and I'm on Loveline, coming up next.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content.
Loveline. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey, welcome to Loveline! Tonight our special guest is Tia Carrere. I am Diane Byrne. Here are the boys, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, you can walk in there.
All right. My cushion always migrates out.
From those
Is that a euphemism for something?
Let's not start there. All right, we're just going to do a straight show.
Let's go.
I'm not going to complain about anything.
Want to talk about your clothing?
I'm not going to talk about my ass or flames coming out of my ass or any of the
Hallelujah.
good stuff.
Let's go.
We're just going to move straight ahead.
Yes.
All right. Hey, welcome to Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Diane Farr over here, looking good. Very smart. Very smart, that Diane. Diane is a good combination. She's hot, but you could bring her home to mama. You know what I mean? Or maybe to an ex-girlfriend and then film them. You know what I mean? But you know, she's real hot, but she's not bimbo-esque. You know, that's good. It's a good combo.
Well, not at work. Anyway.
All right, we're gonna do take some phone calls. We're
Yep.
gonna go to the audience, talk to some folks. We're gonna use the via TV phone and talk to some people. And tonight, our guest from she was in True Lies and Wayne's World 1 and 2, and it's just like sort of the quintessential international hottie. Tia Carrere is here.
Quintessential.
But she's like
She
kind of
is,
scary good
yeah.
looking, like intimate. Like if you're at a party and she was there, you wouldn't even want to talk to her. They're
Well,
too good
you'd
looking.
want to, but you'd
You'd
be
want to,
afraid
but you'd go, no, I
She'll
gotta
shut me down.
I gotta find a chick with a bigger ass somewhere. I'll get shot down immediately. You know what I mean? Build my confidence up a little. Right, Drew? All right, Chris is before the wall of shame. Chris is 20 years old and has a question. Chris?
Yeah, my roommate and his girlfriend recently have been having a lot of wild sex, and I wouldn't mind normally, except, you know, I come home and I'm always interrupting them, and they've been breaking furniture. They broke our sofa, they broke our bed, and...
See, with the big ass.
Yeah.
He should have went for Tia Carrere when it busted the leg off the love seat.
Yeah, it's all good, but he... Well, I've talked to him, and he said he understood what I was talking about because I didn't appreciate it, and then just kind of went on breaking stuff. So I don't know what to do.
Is it an apartment or a dorm?
It's a dorm.
So you don't own the furniture.
Well, did.
You own it. Make him pay for it. I mean, you gotta
cut it
have
down.
consequences for the behavior.
How's he breaking the furniture?
That's,
I mean, he's having aggressive sex, but
I think that's way more information than we need to know.
well, he broke the sofa. I mean, he may have broke it spiritually, but there's way
Spiritually
too
and
much
physically.
sweat and God knows what. The sofa needs counseling
Yeah, it's
now. It's
spoiled.
broken. It's a shell of its former self, but he broke the leg off the thing, or the springs hanging out, or
No, he broke it. It's just a mess now. You can't even sit in it.
It
Broke down the middle.
what Adam is asking is, what are you postulating they did to cause these things to happen?
Oh, it was sex. He told me.
Now, what we're saying is, are you overreacting to this at all?
Yeah.
Did they really break the sofa, or are you just annoyed that they're, doing it all over your house?
Oh no, they broke it, and they told me they broke it,
he
and I
can't
just
articulate himself as to
Yeah,
how
well,
it was broke. See, here, let me give you a quick example here, Chris. For instance, if I said to you, my car's broken, you'd say, what's wrong with the car? And then I would say a host of things. Alternator crapped out, tranny stripped, reverse gear, fenders dented. I would not just keep repeating, it's broken.
Okay. Yeah.
It's broken. It's no good.
How did it happen?
It's broken. You understand? I tell you, it was overheating.
But is there something just, you know?
It's soiled beyond repair, I think, is what's going on.
You can't sit in it comfortably anymore. Like
Well, not knowing
you know.
what it's been through.
Yeah.
But, and what else has he broken?
My bed, it was a bunk bed, but the bottom dropped out when I was sleeping the other night. So it was just worn to the point where the metal just snapped.
Well, you either have to set up consequences or you have to have somebody come in and set them up. That's
It's
what
a
your
dorm,
RA is
resident
there
advisor,
for.
yeah.
If you can't sleep and you can't sit and you can't study, then you have a problem.
Yeah, and you confronted him, he's not listening, he doesn't make any change, you can't create consequences that are going to affect any change, then you got to take it to the resident
You
advisor.
get a futon, too. You're driving those monster trucks over a futon, doesn't do
Nothing
anything.
happens.
I've tried to break futons. You cannot break a futon. You know, I keep one in my house. I don't sleep on it, but if there's an earthquake, I crawl under the futon. The chimney in the house could cave in. As long as you were under the futon, you'd be fine. You cannot break a futon. All right,
So-
and talk to the guy. That's
He did, but he
that's
said
all. We'll
great
talk to him again.
consequences. All right.
Lay down the law.
Let's go to
All
Carrie.
right. You'll never get the deposit back.
They don't even have one.
Easy
It's
make
a
on
form.
it. Let's go. Onward.
Woohoo! I cannot believe they were doing that to train you.
Kate.
Hi. Actually, my question is, I work with a lot of guys at a restaurant. I'm a waitress. And we were all sitting around talking during our break time. And I kind of let it slip that I had kissed and like hooked up with my best friend, who's a girl.
Hooked up?
And we kissed.
Hooked up.
Just
Hooked up.
kissed.
Just kissed.
Okay.
Okay.
And I came into work the next day, and this guy came up to me and told me that they had a pool going, and it was up to $200 if my best friend and I would make out for them for a minute. And I told my best friend, and she said that, you know, she was cool with it, she didn't care. And I really don't care either. I think it'd be really nice to have the money, but I don't know if I really feel comfortable going in there and telling them that and actually doing it and taking the money.
Well, you
So,
don't know
I don't
if
know
you
what to
feel
do.
comfortable, or you don't know if you're supposed to feel comfortable.
I don't know if I'm supposed to feel comfortable.
Well, going into work.
Going
and
into
doing this?
work and telling these guys that I'll take their money and I'll make out with my best friend for a minute.
Do you have a relationship right now?
Pardon?
Do you have a relationship with anybody right now?
No, I don't.
That's good. She's not cheating on anybody.
You're right.
when
That's
she's
part of
hooking
the
up.
question here. So, all right. Well, what do we say?
I'd
To wrap
say
it up.
suss it out. You know, if you can do it in a well-lit
It's $200
area, do it at the mall or something.
Or if you don't really care that much about the waitressing job, and you can get another one somewhere else. I think you're just gonna have problems after the fact.
Yeah.
You will be designated as the girl who you can get to do stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And that'll keep escalating.
Yes.
And it'll escalate for them, and you don't necessarily want to feel like the girl who does stuff.
And
for
what are you
money.
going to do when they offer you $1,000 for some more disturbing act?
Right.
Right.
You going to do it just because it's $1,000? I mean, you're crossing a boundary that it's a bad precedent.
Guys do this all the time, though. By the way, it's not just a
Would you pay
sexual thing.
for $1 million? Would you?
There's
whatever.
always the for $1 million.
But then there's the realistic ones.
No, but guys always do this to each other. For $1 million, would you? Whatever.
Right.
And since they're what 12, that starts.
Right. It's always $1 million,
Yeah.
and then the guy says, "No, it'd be $5 million." And believe me, I just gave the guy $10 to drop his shorts and go sprint to the other side of the convent and back for $10. I think for $1 million, I give him to do whatever I was asking him to do.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Okay.
The show's over now for that diatribe. Let's go on.
Speaking of women, I can bring up this hypothetical with Tia Carrere is here. Hi there, Tia.
Nice to meet you. Wow. I have to say, that's the most original intro I've heard anyone do for me. What was it? Scary, beautiful, or something? Scary,
International.
psycho, international.
Yeah,
something?
exotic, I guess is what I was kind of looking for.
No, but it was the next word.
The
I think, that she
dangerous
meant.
part was very
Yeah.
intriguing.
Yeah, intimidating. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about?
That was very nice. Thank you. No.
It is a tremendous compliment.
It is.
Thank
It was
you.
sort of the basis for the first of the Wayne's World films, right? That it was the woman that he was holding in this amazing.
I was
They could
thinking
kick
more
his
true.
ass.
I was thinking more True Lies. Is that
They could kick his ass.
Dangerous International?
Can you say that word?
Listen,
Yeah.
I would. I'd pay you $20 an hour to kick my ass.
Wait, I have
More
to
than
go
that.
off on the guy who breaks the furniture, though. That
Yeah.
is so self-indulgent. And I think he's at home smashing this stuff with a sledgehammer
Right.
just to say, yeah, it was sex.
Totally.
Right, yeah.
I did it
Totally.
during sex. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, that was sex. Because I'm cool like that. I'm cool. It's like to be on the receiving end of that. Oh yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
If you broke the coffee table, you
I
couldn't be
know.
in great shape
Bam,
either.
bam.
And these are the same guys who, after the football game, rub dirt on their uniforms so people
Yeah.
think when they're jogging back to the locker room they got in the game.
Yeah, exactly. False advertising.
Speaking of violent sex, let's talk about 20 Dates.
Wow, there's a segue.
The movie you're executive producer of this, right?
Well, there's a few producers on it, but it was from our company, and Miles Berkowitz is the creator of this film, and he had just gotten a divorce and decided he was going to remedy two situations: his poor love life and his poor professional life. And so he did this documentary about his dates to look for true love, and so thus the 20 Dates. I'm not going to say what I do in it,
but you have a cameo.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing.
He documents his 20 Dates, but is it a documentary or is it a mockumentary?
It's a mockumentary. I mean, he's a comic personality, so he's got his own interesting view of the world, and that comes through on his.
So
dates.
it's sort of a Spinal Tap in the way Spinal Tap was a mockumentary,
Yeah,
not
it's sort
the
of-
Thin Blue Line.
It's no. It's sort of like Spinal Tap meets those play-by-plays on the Sunday football games.
Right.
X, and you pull this, play this way.
Oh, really? I
It's
like
kinda
that.
crazy. Yeah.
Should watch
Very
this.
fun.
Yeah,
And are they
you gotta
based
take
on
note.
his real dates?
Yeah, exactly. And some of the girls
20
get
unhappy women.
They get really mad, and lawsuits ensue. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
That sounds great. And it got I was reviewing Mademoiselle magazine. It got 3.5 pieces of kernels of popcorn, which is good. I know
huge.
there's no
That's really
context.
big.
Yeah.
Because there are other good films in there that were just getting 3 pieces of popcorn. And let me just say something to all the guys who are coming up with their own inventive rating systems. Let's just go with the 0 to 10 or 0 to 5 thing. Not with all the popcorn. The porn magazines I have, it's limp, flat, semi-wood, I don't need to see some guy's penis moving around.
I agree.
I'll take your word for it. Just 1 through 5, let's just standardize everything.
Thank you,
agree.
Adam. Let's go on.
All right.
Shall we?
And out of how many pieces of popcorn, by the way? I'm guessing 4 would be the highest popcorn rating you could
Yeah.
get, so
I
3.5
would think the whole
is.
bag.
But a whole bag probably has several thousand kernels in it, in which case it's not a good review. But I think it's out of 4. Scott is in front of the wall of shame. You never seen the penis thing?
No, can't say I have.
All right.
I'm really.
I gotta look for that one.
I don't know where I've been living. Scott.
Scott,
How's it going?
hey.
Well, a couple months ago, I was at a party and I was belligerent, and this girl came up to me and started dancing. Things went on, and ended up in her room and had a lot of sex and everything that goes with it. And ever since then, she's been hanging around my fraternity house. She stalks all my brothers. Like in the cafeteria, she grabs our butts and just.
A lot of cryptic descriptions in
Yeah,
here. First
you
of
were
all, things
belligerent?
went on. We were belligerent. Sex and everything that goes on with that.
I think he means drunk.
Drunk. I
Well,
need translations.
I was drunk. She was sober. We had sex.
And
Yeah, that sort of thing.
did you have a drink before you started? 'Cause they're gonna
Well-
kill you for that word.
She's one of those girls that you just don't hook up with. And I was drunk, and she showed up at the party, and beer goggles, of course.
All right,
and
and now she's sort of hanging around.
Yeah, and she is. I get made fun of it so much for it. All the bros call her the rat face killer.
Why?
But you did her.
Yeah.
I was really drunk, really drunk.
So what is your question? How to get rid of her?
Yeah, she's kind of crazy. I was wondering, how would I go about, you know, making her leave us alone without insulting her?
Well, if she sees this, she's going to be pissed.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. She's coming after you with a
wants it
knife.
he wants it to be over. Listen, we have a theory, and it's sort of universal. It's stalkers or whoever you want to leave you alone. They need a little something to feed off of.
Anything.
It doesn't have to be complimentary. Sometimes they just want to get a rise out of you. You give them nothing, and they go away.
Yeah.
People will always go away. Not 100%, but 99% of the time.
The problem is
will go away.
But the problem is creating that distance, and some people are very persistent.
And you can't keep arguing with them, and you can't keep confronting them, and you can't keep calling them back and yelling at them.
Don't you think? Don't you think once he should have a nice conversation with her and say, you know what, this happened. I'm not into you. I think you should go on with your life. We had a great time, and that's it. And then ignore her from there. But at least it's honest.
Yeah.
I mean, he did her. She deserves at least that honesty.
Yeah.
You know, to talk to her like a human being, not a rat-faced whatever she is.
Look, and we know. Look, guess who that woman is, right? That girl is. You know what her history was like. What kind of abuse and trauma
Probably
she came
raised in
from.
a habit trail, that poor girl.
No, but I mean, you know.
Now you're
Parents
feeding
running
into
on the
that.
wheel endlessly, never
That's
getting
not nice.
She's gonna be one of our callers, and we're gonna, hear the story.
She's
from
going
the
to be
other
waiting
side.
for you next. to hear what
Yes.
goes.
The sad part is the girl calls in a week from now, and you find out that her uncle raped her when she was 9, and then the poor rat-faced girl you're making fun of. It seems like the butt of all jokes. Your heart goes out to her.
Yeah, she's a disturbed person, and needs to be dealt with firmly, but with compassion. I mean, you did this. There's consequences of your action, but deal with it as a human being, working with another human being. Don't be cruel, and deal with it firmly, though. Okay.
All right, Scott.
Thank you.
And listen, don't. I just want to tell a compassionate story for a second. When you're young, you don't now that we're old and bitter and hardened and everything, and talk to a bunch of
Speak for
screwed up
yourself.
people all the time. I mean, me and Drew. He's so old he can't be hardened anymore. It's a little inside joke there. But the point is you start to learn what's behind the story. You know, people act one way, but there's a story behind that. And when you're young, all you see is the way they're acting, and you can be cruel. And I went to high school. The girl who killed herself later on in life, in her mid-20s or whatever, but everyone made fun of her, everybody screwed around with her, everybody whatever, and then she killed herself later on. And I was always nice to her. I never had a relationship with her, and I just was always steered the other direction. But I would be so guilt-ridden if I jumped on the bandwagon
It sounds like that's what he's doing.
of people that were beating on her, making fun of her, and bringing her down. And these people are sad, and they have feelings, and you don't know what they've been through. And you're going to be older one day, and you're not going to want to think about all the wrong that you've done to people. So don't do that for yourself and for them.
Yep.
Let's go to the next call, which
Long
is.
time not saying anything there, Drew.
It's been a long time since I've been impressed with anything you've said. Let's go to a Loveline Rewind. This is originally aired December. Orgy was the guest. Michelle was calling. Secret sex with cousin's wife was getting scary.
For a couple of months now, I've been having sex with my cousin's wife, and we've been together ever since. And he's confronted both of us on it, and we both denied it, said no, nothing has happened. The other day he invited me over, and kidding around to him, he pointed a rifle at me. And I think he knows.
What do you want her to do, Drew?
I want her to either call a doctor, get a therapist, or call the Department of Social Services, get some professional intervention or social service intervention here, so there's somebody to create some structure and consequences and supervise this so it doesn't get completely out of control, because this is a life-threatening situation.
She needs some kind of
There are
different
kids
form.
involved, 3 people's lives. This is serious stuff. Michelle must stop this relationship. All right.
Are we watching our show? I never sure what show we're watching.
We're
It's a show within a show.
It's the one we're doing now.
Yeah,
Because
this
I
is
was
it.
watching for a few minutes. I go, Jesus, boring. That was a boring episode.
Hey, Michelle, you there?
This is it.
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Michelle, we have to take a break right now, but we're going to get back to you and find out what went on, okay? All right.
No one ever responds again.
If you have a question for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day. 1-323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply. Easy.
More Loveline with Tia Carrere. 20 Dates is the name of her current film. When we left off, we were speaking to Michelle. Michelle was a Loveline Rewind. I remember that. You were saying to get some professional help. I think I was saying just to get out of there and not go
Yeah.
back.
Right.
Michelle was, what was that?
She
Michelle
was having an
wasn't-
affair with her cousin's husband or
Wife.
something?
It's
Hus-
two women. And the husband had put a gun in front of her the day
Right.
before. And you were saying that she needs to end this relationship, but she didn't sound as if she was actually going to do it. And you were so worried that someone was going to kill
Get hurt,
someone.
yeah.
in this
I just
Right.
thought there had to be somebody, some structure brought to bear. So what's going on, Michelle?
Well, the relationship is over. I don't return her phone calls. I realized she was just using me for sex. I'm doing better now. I've
That's a
gone on with
bitch,
my
isn't
life.
it?
Wait a
Sorry?
minute. What do you
Just
mean?
get used for sex?
What do you mean you're doing better now? You didn't complain about doing poorly. You complained about your husband. Or
No.
her
No,
husband.
not my husband, her husband.
Her husband. So what
I'm
do you
doing
mean?
better now in the sense that I can actually deal with not speaking to her. I've gotten used to it,
Okay.
so I can actually move on.
Right.
Okay.
And in reference to she used me for sex, yeah, it was just like a little entertainment thing where she wasn't getting sex from her husband, so she used me for sex.
How do you know that?
It's pretty obvious.
Why?
They've reconciled, and I don't get phone calls as much as I used to.
All right.
So did she end this, Michelle?
In a sense, yes, she did.
How? What did she do?
Stopped calling. And if
Which-
I'm lucky, I get a call once a week.
How do you know
I-
she wasn't threatened by her husband?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Well,
I
let's not.
thought she said that you stopped returning her phone calls.
I did. She calls.
But she
and
doesn't call.
I don't call. I never did call.
I think Michelle's cousin's wife has stopped doing this, which has.
All right,
in turn, given
everybody
Michelle a way out.
stop. Right? Is that what we're talking about?
Right.
You're not.
I'm still getting the feeling that Michelle, you'd unfortunately like to go back to this if you had the opportunity. You seem
No. I'm too pissed off right now to actually go back to anything.
pissed
Yeah.
off doesn't mean you can move, though. You should never go back to this. That's not at all what I'm saying, but it's like you're walking through stages of loss because this relationship is done. You don't want to be back there. You don't want her to call her. It's not lucky that she calls you once a month. It's a disaster.
Why are you
for her to be
pissed
calling
off?
you once a month.
Because of the fact that I was used. I was like the 976 Michelle.
The
But
girl,
she's
the woman is married. I think has a kid, and she's just screwing around with you. What do you mean?
Exactly. But
used?
see, when I was in the relationship, I didn't care about that. Now I realized it.
I know, but listen, Screwball, she's married, and you guys are having some kind of lesbo relationship on the side. Of course, you're having a fling.
It's
Right.
a using.
What do you think you're going to do?
both of
Get
you.
married and start a family in Utah? What are you going to do?
No, I wasn't going to do that.
So what's up? I mean, why? There's something going on here. I mean, were you in
Yeah.
love? Were you in love with her?
I thought I was, but obviously not.
Why
Have you
this
not
cycle?
had a relationship for a long time before this?
No, I did have a relationship before this.
Michelle,
A month or two before it started, we broke up.
and how did you feel about that breakup?
That breakup was another fiasco, which we should do another love line.
Yeah.
was-
And I'm sure whatever came before that was the same thing.
It was
I mean,
another married
this,
person.
This amazing
Right.
cycle
Ooh,
of,
there you go.
of unavailable people, idealizing them, and then totally devaluing them when they leave. You know, it's kind of a classic pattern.
What did your dad must have crapped on you,
Oh, yeah,
right?
somebody.
Skipped out.
Actually, Mom. I think Mom.
Mom?
Yeah.
I'm going with
Mom's
Dad.
great. No, Dad never did anything like that, and neither did Mom.
Are mom and dad married?
Dad passed away in August, and Mom is still around.
But this pattern of idealizing people.
Somebody
that are,
did something.
Yeah, idealizing people that are not available and then totally devaluing and destroying them is
the
not
whole-
normal, Michelle.
No, I know, but the whole thing is with my gay pattern, ever since I came out of the closet, the first relationship I had was with another cousin's wife, or girlfriend, I'm sorry. And I tend to be a lesbian who can only pick up straight women, but I can't get gay women.
Yeah.
Michelle, you can't go after women that are married. It's the same
I
thing
didn't
as
plan it, it just happened.
No, but you
Whatever
have to
just
know.
happens in
Yeah.
your life is something you plan. It may
That's
not
right.
be conscious,
You're-
but there's somebody setting an agenda.
Well, things
You know what I
just
mean?
happen because you let them happen. If you don't let them happen, they don't happen.
All right, but Michelle, you're not gonna let us know about what it is we need to know about in your past, are you?
What do you need
Something's
to know?
going on with your parents, you,
No,
somebody did
nothing.
something to
As a
you. You're
child.
too screwed up not to have had something happen along the way.
Well, if something did happen, then I'm blocking it out because I don't think anything happened as a child. My parents were married for over 50 years.
Nobody
and they never
hit
did-
you, no alcoholism,
No,
everything was great.
they didn't smoke, they didn't drink, they didn't do a thing.
All right, you have to sue the water company then. There's something in the reservoir.
There's something there.
We know that Michelle just doesn't exist out there without something.
Well, it's
Yeah.
too hard to armchair analyze without, talking to the person at length to find out what she's setting up for herself repeatedly. And that's a pattern that she's going to have to heal herself from over a period of time because
Yeah.
it's something that keeps coming up and she'll be doomed to repeat it if she doesn't heal herself.
Absolutely.
So that's up to you to go out
I
and
think
fix.
that's real clear. I mean, she's already has her second cousin's wife. She's on. I don't mean her second cousin, but she's
Number
on her
two.
second set of cousins' wives. For
Hope she gets help.
She called in originally and said it was like sort of a problem with him and
Yeah,
his violence and
violence,
stuff.
yeah.
But as it turns out, she turns out to be
As
the nutty
it's
one.
always-
good. You're
it's
broken up.
always-
Fine. Stay out of there.
Never
And
just
take
one
some
person.
time off.
That's right. Let's go to the VIA-TV phone.
Oh, that's my baby.
I cannot.
We're going
believe they
to
did
Dan. He's 21. He's at Westfield State. Dan. Wait a minute.
Dan,
I can't see what line that is. Dan, is that you?
Westfield State.
problem.
Is that a real school? It sounds like one of those made-up schools, like the Melrose Place. 90210 kids go off to. You know what I
This is a
mean?
school for retards.
Really?
Dude, oh man, I couldn't get into a real school. You kidding?
Yeah. Where is that Westfield State?
Westfield.
Western
We
Mass.
all panicked for
Westfield.
5 seconds.
Where's Westfield?
It's near Springfield.
Yeah,
Oh, shut up.
It is.
Massachusetts?
Yeah.
he's actually right.
All right. Stupid Drew with this rightness.
Rightness.
How do you know where Westfield is?
Because I went to college about half an hour from there.
Some guy calls in from Oregon, you want a college a half hour from there, and the next guy calls in from Tucson, you're a half hour from there, and that guy calls in from Maine, you're a half hour from there, you're a half hour from everybody in the country.
He's a half-hour guy.
Dan, what's going on?
All right, I got this
That's what his
problem.
wife says.
Whenever I have sex, I can't orgasm like during the act. No matter how long it lasts, I just can't do it. And if I want to, if I want to finish a job, I have to get up and take care of business myself in a separate room.
Fear of vulnerability.
Yeah, before you punch out, you don't want to
excellent.
put in any golden time. I hear that.
I've got to finish the job.
You got to finish the
Fear of
job.
vulnerability. He doesn't want to open up to a woman. Let her be the one that's in power over him for that second or two.
He has got it
He's on
going
the
on.
money.
All right, Dan, we'll be back with more wisdom from
That's
Tia
excellent.
Carrere after the break.
Hi, I'm Michael McKean. You're watching Loveline on MTV, and so am I.
Email us at loveline3@aol.com. Please include your phone number.
Oh my God, you almost ate that camera.
All right, more Loveline with the mysterious, the beautiful Tia Carrere, who was telling me during the break her real name is Rachel Finkelstein. I don't know if you know that.
Finkelstein, it's pronounced.
Finkelstein, I'm sorry. You can tell she's Jewish.
I was going to think of something funny to say, but I can't.
Dan, you there?
Yep.
Okay. So, you're having trouble where you cannot climax when you're in the presence of another person.
Yeah, that's it.
I think Tia actually gave you the answer already.
Is that the open up?
Well,
It's not entirely just opening up, but it's the fear of opening up.
Yeah,
that-
I am really nervous to like around them.
let me
around
ask
their,
you
like-
something. and
Well,
I want
but
you to answer
this is a little
honestly.
more of a female thing, because guys sometimes it can be mechanical. I mean, they get nervous.
But
they
wait a minute. I think
screw up,
this is more
they
than
close
just.
down a little.
I think it's
I think
probably how often his partners are around.
I think it's a little more than usual. Let me ask you this. I want you to try to answer it honestly. Do you ever have any sort of fetishes or preoccupations like that?
No, not really.
Because this is that kind of thing where guys feel like they're going to lose control or swallowed up, or very primitive fantasies about being intimate with a woman. Sometimes they deflect those feelings by focusing on a fetish.
No,
Sometimes
look at
they're
this.
afraid of what they look like when they're climaxing too. Like they're shy of being that free because
think
you
that's-
do lose
yeah.
control. A
Yeah,
little bit.
no, listen, when you, here, okay, let me straighten the whole thing out. Tia's point is a very good point.
Yes.
But it's a little more, women do this more than men, which is the giving away of the
Yes,
orgasm.
I agree.
Men normally, because they can be with prostitutes and stuff, and have sex in grain elevators, but not with women either, with sacks of grain actually.
Right.
Explain that to me later.
I will. I'll show you. Later. But usually when men cannot have an orgasm, it's a sort of, they get nervous, things don't work right.
Right.
They're tense,
Right.
they're
And then-
tensed up, and a young guy like Dan is going through that probably. Now what Dan needs to do is have a real relationship with a real person over a period of
Around.
time, become comfortable with this
Right.
person,
Absolutely.
and work everything out.
That's true.
And once you get that under your belt, then the plumbing magically sort of kicks into
Yes.
gear. But
And-
Dan didn't look like he was into
That.
fetishes or anything.
No.
He
No,
just
no.
find a girl,
You're right.
stay with her for a while, have a
while.
real relationship, and it'll
Know
work
her
out.
name, that helps.
Yeah, at least her first name.
And at
certainly.
least her area code. Like you've dialed
Right.
it enough to know the area code.
Maria's on the phone.
Maria.
Hey,
Hey.
I have 34 triple D breasts. And what my problem is that
Shush.
I have not been able to get any type of pleasure from my breasts during sex. But since I've had a baby and since I've been breastfeeding, they've become extremely sensitive. But I've always thought that they were too big to be sensitive until now. So my question is after I'm done breastfeeding, am I going to lose this great sensation? Or, if I get a breast reduction, will I get this great feeling back again?
If you get a reduction, I think there's a higher probability of losing it.
Losing all feeling entirely.
Losing the sensitivity. So that wouldn't be the solution. I don't think anybody can predict whether the breast, after the hormones go back to the baseline, when you're done breastfeeding, whether you'll continue to have this or
Well,
not. You might. You well
doesn't
might.
this
Isn't it supposed to be
happens,
like
right?
a 50-50? Some women will still have the
Yes.
increased feeling, and some women will
I don't
lose
know
it.
that number's out there, 50-50, but I know that it's very difficult to predict.
What?
And it can go either way.
Triple D.
Triple D, yes. 34 triple D.
How big's the rest of you?
I'm not very big. I'm actually fairly petite. I'm only 5'3", so I'm actually really out of proportion with the rest of my body.
Perfect.
If
Perfect.
you lose a feeling,
I love that.
perfect.
Listen, if you have to be sort of warped physically. This is it. Could be in the nose, could be in the ass. This is the place for it to be in.
But if you lose sensitivity in your breasts and things, make sure he touches you other places where it pleases you, and then it's all right. Whatever your body changes go through, it's all right.
That's an excellent point. Excellent. You don't have to be
That doesn't have to be
sensitive.
your breasts.
I can't remember the last time a woman touched my breast. Can you, Drew?
Your breast? Oh, no.
Yeah, the point is, you women, I don't know why you need 35 erogenous zones. We got one. You don't hear us complaining. You know what I mean? We just try to get them onto the one.
Well,
You
it's
women are
because I've
busy.
never
We got to
had this feeling
roll around
before.
you like
No,
a
you're
map.
just curious.
Enjoy
you're not,
it.
Yeah, it's all right, Maria. It's understandable to be curious about
For
it,
as
but
long
don't
as you
plan
have
any
it.
surgery based on it, and don't be surprised if it continues.
Well, I just want to
okay?
ask you about the
Okay.
triple D
right.
for a second.
All
Hold
right,
on, hold
all
on.
right.
I know, because I can't, Drew.
You can't get off this. I know.
No, I can't figure out the bra sizes.
I see.
It depends by manufacturer.
What it is
usually
34. The number is
your back
your
size.
rib cage.
your
It's
rib
this.
cage, around your rib cage.
Oh,
And
I
then-
know that. That's fine.
then
And
the
that's why a lot
triple
of you foolish men out there, you get confused by the number. You think 40, ooh, 40, that's good. Well, that just could be, a woman could be
really
this
wide
wide
girl.
around.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the breast. No, you look for cup size.
Right.
I understand that, but and that's the ABC whatever. But it's getting into the triple D.
That site's supposed to go A and double A, B and double B up to D, and then it will go to triple.
Yeah.
And then they'll move past D. And certain companies will just do D, double D, E, double E, all the way down to like N.
I'm saying I want it quantified and I want a standard. You know what I'm saying?
The Corolla standard.
The Corolla standard. Corolla scale. Oh, if I could do anything before I died, it would be this. Because I open these magazines, it's the quadruple F, and and you think, wait a minute, has this been sanctioned or certified? You know, I hear people throwing around these numbers and letters all the time, but there's no standard. It'd be like if you went to every gas station you went to had a different version of a gallon.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's confusing. It's annoying. I want one thing. Let's standardize this.
Like
yes, you should feel for yourself what A, what a B, what a triple D.
Right, I should travel the country in a modified Winnebago.
That's what he wants. And then you can tell us. That's your job.
There's no argument with the A, the B, and the C in the first D, but after the first D, all bets are off. It starts going 1,000 different directions, and that's the part I want
all in your
cleared up.
favor.
All right, Scott.
Scott?
Hi. When my penis is erect, it is normal and it works fine. My problem is that when it is soft, it shrinks into my body, which is very uncomfortable. I continually have to push on my crotch to pop it back out.
Ooh.
It's been a problem all my life, and I hate it. Can anything be done about this?
Is that a medical? The whole penis?
The whole, he has to push.
It's an innie.
He has to.
I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that existed.
He has to put. Oh, no, girls, he's this close to killing himself as it is. All he needs are a couple of spokesmodels up here going, I've never heard of that. How peculiar and morose. All right, Scott, don't do anything stupid. We're going to go to a break. You see if you can coax your penis out of its hole, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about it.
If you have a question for Loveline, you can call 24 hours a day. 1-323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
Bam! More Loveline with Tia Carrere. 20 Dates is the name of her latest joint. People think you're cool when you use the word joint.
What's it mean?
I don't know. I think it means movie. If a black guy makes a movie, it's a joint.
Okay.
A white guy makes a movie, it's just a movie. You see? All right, now, Scott is 28. He's on the phone. What the hell? Oh, the penis goes up
the turtle
into him. The
penis.
turtle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. And Scott, are you overweight?
No, I'm really trim. I'm 170 pounds, 6'2".
And where do you push to get things to go back out?
Just kind of push down.
On
down.
the suprapubic area?
Yeah, exactly.
Not the perineum, not underneath.
Excuse me?
Not underneath.
No.
If you go underneath, it goes further in, pops out your ass.
No.
You don't want to do that.
Hey, you know what, Adam? I knew you were going to bust my balls over this.
What's that?
I said, Adam, I knew you were going to bust my balls over this.
There's nothing other to bust. All right, let's not be cruel. Thankfully, my penis erect is nothing special, but I got what I call a good gym. Looks good hanging around the gym.
You're saying that.
You see my penis flaccid, and you go, well, that's going to be something. And then you see it erect, and you go,
It didn't
I
get
guess
any
we're
bigger.
wrong. Yeah. What's holding it up? There's some zero gravity environment. There's a piece of soap going to float by or something.
All right. Scott, I know
skinny guy. We haven't heard this on a skinny guy.
I mean, certainly the anatomy is configured that kind of thing can happen. Are you circumcised?
Yes.
All right. I don't know of any medical condition associated with this, nor would I predict that there'd be any surgical intervention for this kind of thing. I mean, it's a normal thing. The functions normally. You don't have any pain when it's erect. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
How is it when it's erect?
If you push it out, how long will it stay out before it goes back in?
A few minutes.
Oh, so it slides right
Yeah,
back
this is
in.
just this is his anatomy.
So you have to push it out to go to the bathroom?
No.
It comes out when you need to go to the bathroom?
Does that work?
It actually hurts?
Excuse me?
It's uncomfortable?
It's just uncomfortable. There's no pain. It just bugs me.
But Scott, if we were to look at you from a profile, what would we see? Would we not see anything come out?
Well, you'd see a very small penis.
Okay.
Because it's just
and that's
the
what bugs
head?
you. No, I think that's what's bugging you,
It's
Scott.
not tucked in there. It's just a small penis.
He's bugged by the size. And
Well, no, it's not that. It's more that the small penis is what bothers me. It's always creeping back inward.
All right, but so like when you go to the ball game and you're at that big trough urinal that all us guys have to whiz in, does the guy next to you think you sprung a leak, or is he think you're taking a whiz? I mean, is there nothing from the profile when?
Very little. Very
okay.
little.
All right, but when you get an erection, it's okay, right?
Yeah, it is. It's
all right.
Which is all the ladies will care about.
Yeah,
Scott.
that's
fine.
all. Yeah, other than that, you don't really need it. I haven't found my penis useful for anything when it's not erect. Hanging there,
Especially during bike riding, I'm sure.
Well,
sticking to the side of my legs or nothing. Plus,
that's not really my problem. It's the uncomfortable feeling I don't like.
Yeah, but you said it's not painful, it just bothers you. And it's, I don't know.
Could he tie a bandana around it or something that wouldn't let it creep in?
I can't think of any procedures they would do.
With those dog collars, you know, with those
I wonder
funnels.
if he went to a doctor already.
That'd be awesome.
Any procedure that
Diane, what if you're like with a guy for the first night and he just pulls it out and he's got that collar that the dog.
Get around the base of his penis.
And you're going, what is, it's the penis fighting with the scrotum and when it bit the scrotum and now it's just a couple more weeks. Just bear with me.
Oh my God.
Just till it heals.
That'd be a good picture, wouldn't it, Drew?
Oh my God.
All right, so listen, you're all right. Don't worry about it there. I wanted to say something else, but now I can't remember. Hey, there's the book, everybody. We'll give that to Tia as a little token of our
I'll
esteem for
buy
coming
it
on
from
the
you,
show.
so you don't have to live in that.
Tia Carrere, everybody. 20 Dates is the name of her film. Oh, what a model. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew and Diane Farr saying mahalo.
Loveline is a Stone Stanley production. Yeah. Cool.